what upsets many people is the thought that they have actually really changed their lives. They have absolutely stepped out of the status quo. The rigid hierarchies that most of us are quite near the bottom of are endured and experienced precisely because the order allows us to stave off the chaotic nature of existence, or less profoundly, simply to kid ourselves that we have to put up with this. That's just how he is. That's just how things are. Suck it up, buttercup. That's the way the world works. Life's not fair. All of these refrains, right? We've all heard them a million times. I think Prince Harry's turned around with her help and said, actually, I don't have to do this anymore. Look what happened to my mum when she tried to keep everybody sweet. My goodness me, I don't have to do this anymore. It's not like I've got a whopping great throne waiting for me at the end of the tunnel. All I've got waiting for me at the end of the tunnel is being the 21st century equivalent of Prince Blooming Andrew. And I wouldn't wish that on anybody. So why can't I just walk away? Why can't I? I'll try and ride both horses. I'm an accomplished equestrian. I shall try to ride. I'd like to keep one foot in the palace and one foot out of it, but I'm not putting both feet in the palace because, my goodness me, I don't have to. And if you feel subconsciously or even occasionally consciously constrained by your life, you think, suck it up, buttercup, life's not fair. This is how it has to be. This is how it is. That's just how things are. To see someone very near the top of the pyramid turn around and go, nah, this sucks, I'm off. How does that make us feel? Further down the line, further down the chain. Reassuring or convincing or trying to persuade or kidding ourselves every single day that we've got no choice. Life has to be like this. It's tough. It's ugly. It's nasty, brutish and short, but we have no choice. And then he turns around, having supposedly won the jackpot, and says, I don't want to buy a ticket. I don't want to play anymore.
Meghan Markle fundamentally changed Prince Harry's life, helping him see things differently and realise that life had more to offer. This transformation has irked the British media the most. Before Meghan, the media had free rein to write whatever they wanted about Harry, with no pushback. But Meghan's influence encouraged Harry to stand up for himself, creating a ripple effect that the British media and royal family struggled to accept. Before Meghan, the British media had unrestricted access to Harry's life. They presented him as the unruly spare to the heir, Prince William. The royal family's motto of never complain, never explain, meant Harry couldn't defend himself against false stories. This created an environment where the media felt they controlled the narrative, and Harry had no choice but to go along with it. However, Meghan came from a world where standing up for oneself was normal. This perspective shifted Harry's approach. He moved from never explain to silence wasn't an option. Of all options, silence was the least desirable, the least defensible. We couldn't just let the press continue to do this to Meg. He was no longer silent, but actively defending himself and Meghan under the relentless media attacks. This shift didn't go unnoticed by the British press. The media's frustration was palpable as they lost control over Harry's story. Harry started setting boundaries, challenging the media's assumed ownership over his life. This shift disrupted the status quo, angering those who benefited from the previous dynamic. The media, used to framing the royal family as they pleased, found themselves facing resistance. In November 2016, Harry issued a statement defending Meghan against racist and sexist media coverage. He called out the racial undertones in the media's coverage of Meghan. This was a watershed moment, marking the first time a royal had so explicitly addressed racism in the media. Unfortunately, instead of being celebrated, it generated backlash, not just from the media, but also from his family. In his book, Spare, Harry recounts how King Charles and Prince William were furious, believing his statement made them look bad. Harry writes, "In fact, my statement generated a whole new onslaught from my family. Pa and Willie were furious. They gave me an earful. My statement made them look bad," they both said. King Charles and Prince William were mad because Harry was doing things differently. Until today, they are mad because Harry dared to choose a different kind of life for himself. Harry looked at Prince Andrew's life and he was like, "No, I do not want to end up like him." Harry had long harboured thoughts of breaking free from the royal family's constraints. With a wife and child to consider, Harry's priorities shifted, prompting him to gain the courage to act on these feelings and reject a system that silenced him and prioritised image over well-being. He didn't want to subject his family to the same pressures and false narratives he had endured. Choosing Meghan and Archie over royal obligations was a significant decision, reflecting his desire for a healthier, happier life.
And with that comes these filters, of which acts as a fog, and every opportunity we have to be able to clean the windscreen, take the filters away, and actually see life as it is and be able to live a truly authentic life. That, to me, has been the freedom that I didn't even know that I was looking for most of my life.
And instead of accepting this truth, the British media and royal family choose living in denial. They prefer to blame Meghan for Harry's departure, portraying her as manipulative. This narrative denies Harry's agency in making his own choices. His decision to leave wasn't solely influenced by Meghan. It was a conscious choice for his well-being and that of his family. He rejected the lies and untrue narratives perpetuated by the media, understanding that he didn't have to live under an institution that valued image over its people. Harry changed because he realised he deserved better than the life dictated by the media and the institution. Harry's current life is one he actively chose, and his satisfaction with it is evident. Despite ongoing media attempts to portray him as missing his old royal life or being manipulated by Meghan, the truth is that Harry made a deliberate choice, and he is thriving in that choice, enjoying the freedom to be himself and protect his family. He's no longer subject to media fabrications or the restrictive norms of the royal family. His independence has allowed him to not only explore opportunities that align with his values, but also shape his own destiny, focusing on his family and personal well-being. To conclude, Meghan Markle's impact on Prince Harry cannot be denied. She helped him see that life had more to offer, giving him the courage to break free from a restrictive system. Harry's transformation has challenged the status quo, and while the British media and royal family are living in denial, the truth remains. Harry made a conscious choice for a better life, and he's loving every minute of it. No amount of media fabrication or royal disapproval can change that fact. Harry has found true happiness.
Are you happy?
I'm very, very happy. I'm very at peace. I am in a better place than I've ever been. And I think that probably angers some people. The safety of my family is my priority. And that is the main reason that we left. Some people always thought that Meghan would leave, but I don't think they ever thought that I would leave as well. I'm not going to lie, it's been really hard at times. But I guess there's also a lot of people who refuse to accept that I could be happy out here because of what I've left behind. But the reality is I've never been happier. I've got 2 beautiful kids and an amazing wife. Like, the happiness in my family now, I have never felt anywhere else before.